Brown. The plaintiff in this case says his landlord failed to give him an exact move-out date and then threw out all of his belongings. He says the defendant needs to pay for the value of his property. Let's take a look.
Let's go to the defendant. What do you have to say, sir?
Well, there is no contract with Mr. Wallace.
I know. He's just there. How old was your daughter?
She just turned 30.
Just turned 30, separated or estranged from her husband. All right, you want to move him in? You know, I don't have any problem. Just make sure the rent's paid. You know him?
That was the agreement I did have.
Okay, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So, when she started not paying
you said that was
the
an
rent...
agreement you had with me? So you had an agreement, is what you're saying?
No, my agreement was only with Kimberly. Kimberly was arrested July the 9th, which was a Friday. I visited the restaurant where Mr. Wallace works on July the 9th, and we had an agreement that he would give me an answer by the 19th of July as to whether he could rent the house. The 20th of July came, and I had to run him down.
Look, that is something I do not understand. It's almost, if you have 200 incidents, 199 of them are the same thing, and that's what he's saying. In other words, how come you did? Well, you're the one asking for the favor, so you want me to do you a favor, and not only do you a favor, you want me to keep running you down to see how you're doing. You know, I got better things to do.
Well, and thirdly, I did have a rental house that I needed to be in shape to rent to someone else. And when I visited the house on Saturday, July the 25th, the power had been turned off for 5 days. I called the power company. So you can imagine what the smell of rotting food and a refrigerator that hadn't been working for 5 days. I walked into an unair-conditioned, disheveled house. My concern was getting it cleaned up.
Of course, and there's a lot of stuff there you don't know who has what, whether it's your strange son-in-law, your addicted daughter, his, or who else.
So you can sit here and say that that's right for me to stick up for his daughter, me help pay. I understand it's not legal, it's not in the legal eyes. I understand all of that. But we all knew each other almost as like family. He knew I sat there and took care of him. I gave money to him. He might shake his head no.
You know what? Where do you get that idea about the world? You neglect the rest of the world, or the rest of the people you're dealing with, and what's the old parable? No man is an island, meaning you can't isolate yourself. So he's supposed to call you to help do you a favor. And the bottom line is this idea about everything supposed to be nice and considerate, and we want to have the world work on feelings. It doesn't work that way, son.
Judge Joe Brown makes his ruling after this.